everybody. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And let's deal with the new disinformation about COVID-19. This virus is a bitch, people, and it's been on Earth almost a year. And it's killed 1.2 million people. That's everyone in Montana and half of Wyoming. Native Americans just got sprung. That's for you guys. Yet there's this moron Klaus out there that thinks it's a hoax or it's not that bad. An ICU doctor recently, dressed like a frightened astronaut, said on CNN, "I've heard so many last words as I put these people on a ventilator."
Just before the patient died, they looked at their nurse and they said, "I think I made a mistake. I thought this was a hoax, but it's not."
You know, we're 9 months into COVID, people. And this virus not only kills, but even if you don't die, there's a good chance you're going to have organ damage. That's right. Lung damage, heart damage, brain damage, also blood clots, vessel problems, which contributes to long-lasting problems with your liver and your kidneys, which means you can't drink that much when the NFL finally gets started again. You're going to have to pull around a lot of machines just so you can take a piss. So go ahead, roll those dice, people. It's COVID, like Vegas, except with death. But if you survive it, there's more lifetime of fun a-coming. Fatigue syndrome, that's right, a complex disorder of extreme fatigue that worsens with physical or mental activity, but doesn't get better with rest. That's COVID-19. It's like someone giving you 3 toddlers to raise. Bonus. But then you might be one of the long haulers. No, you're not going to be running beer to Texarkana with Burt Reynolds. Hey, Bandit, me and COVID Fred got a question. Why is Trump letting all these people die?
Well, why not?
Well, I mean, he said nothing could be done.
Well, that's the reason, son.
I'm talking people who are having long-term fatigue, headaches, vertigo, difficulties with cognition, hair loss. That's right, hair loss, cardiac issues, and like walking up 3 stairs and trying to not go into the light. Doctors are seeing a cellular level damage. You know, that's your little Ebola bonus with COVID. And this isn't from me, I'm a dummy. This is from the Mayo Clinic, which I'm so dumb I used to think it made different flavors of artisan mayonnaise. And there's the other one too. The young people are immune. That's bullshit. It's mild. I didn't even really get symptoms, and I'm over it. But in young athletes, this is athletes I'm talking about, there's evidence of myocardial damage, cardiomyopathy, arrhythmias, pulmonary scarring, and strokes. How do you make a teenager worse? Give him a fucking stroke. You know, this hoax is awesome and hilarious, isn't it? So many rides at the COVID theme park, just pick one. Oh, and totally in-shape athletes with zero comorbidities are having heart issues. A study by the University of Frankfurt in Germany found that 75% of people studied who had recovered from COVID had abnormal heart problems. They're German, so I think we were all just stoked that they actually had human hearts. Kidding, Germany. Look, after World War II, we get to clown you for 100 years. That's the deal. Those are the rules. Great, so now we know that COVID can kill you or ruin your life forever. And you dipshits that don't believe it after all the info that you can just look up at your fingertips, you know what? If you don't believe it at this point, I gotta say, go to a Trump rally, because it's a hoax. Okay, I'll see you in the ICU. MAGA, make America gasp for air. This virus has doctors freaked out. They don't know what's going on. Yet Trump's stroke doctor is saying that we should go herd mentality.
And you'll develop herd mentality.
So let's see what happens if we all get it. Well, currently we have 8 million cases, and that's around 288,000 dead. Yale did a study that said we're undercounting the deaths by about a third. So CDC puts the COVID deaths right now at over 300,000. Okay, so that gives us, let's say, approximately 280 to 300,000 dead. 280,000 divided by 8 million, a 3.5% death rate. Herd immunity at 3.5%. That means on a population of 330 million times 3.5%, holy shit, that's 11.5 million dead. But let's say my number's a little heavy. Let's say it only kills at a 1.5%. That's less than half. That'll be better, right? So if this thing kills at a 1.5% rate because you morons with herd mentality want herd immunity, that's 4.95 million dead. You good now? But this new one, you guys are using only 11,000 died that were COVID. The rest had other stuff wrong. Yeah, diabetes, heart disease, asthma, etc. But guess what? They were alive with all those things until they got COVID, you brain-dead douchebags. Saying someone had a chronic ailment they lived with for decades, died of that ailment because after they had COVID. Okay, so if I'm hit by a drunk driver, but I have a toe fungus, and it's like pre-existing, did I die of toe fungus? You guys are brutally dumb. And Trump is so stupid, 85% of people wearing masks will get it. No, President Dumbass, that's what you heard, but that's not what was said. The facts are wearing a mask cuts transmission of COVID-19 by 85%. But the MAGA cult believes the guy who's as dumb as they are. People, Trump wasted 8 months because we got to open up. All he did was fuck it up. Trump, your savior, could have had the economy roaring by now. New Zealand shut down from March 19th until June 8th. They didn't panic like bitches, but their leader is one bad bitch. She had a national plan. Wow, what is that like? And the Kiwis are open. Restaurants, comedy clubs. 3 months they've been open. New Zealand shut down for 3 months. 90 days, and they're back. Any new outbreaks are small enough and can be isolated and contact traced. We, on the other hand, are almost 9 months in, and we're at 70,000 cases a day. If we just had a leader, someone who could think into the future, Marty, someone who knew 90 days would be tough, but will save 130,000 lives and be back to normal by August. It's almost November. Our government and sweet potato Hitler is still doing nothing. A zero doing zero. And by the way, you orange bankrupt comb over, we're all tired of the virus. You know, that's something a child says when he's bored with his toys. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of it. Wah! But the virus isn't tired at all. This fucker's going to keep going on as long as you keep letting it feed. Breathing out, other people breathing it in. This virus is 1,000 times more transmissible than SARS. It's aerosolized, which means it's floating around all the time. It never gets tired. And we could have burned it out if we'd have just stayed locked down until it died. We'd be back to our lives right now. But you geniuses believe the bankrupt orange pussy grabber. And here we are. You know, I read about World War II and how Americans came together over a common enemy and worked to stop it, worked to beat the people that were going against us. Not us, though. Not today. Today, we get these LARPing toadies who plan to kidnap a governor and kill her because she's trying to save lives, while the fat man bleats about fake news and emails. How pathetic. But it's not fake news, people. COVID is real. It's killing us. And this leader, a man with zero nobility, whines about he didn't get his fake Nobel Prize nomination. He dances horrifically while Americans die. Jesus, I was surprised someone didn't shove a wallet in his mouth during this. He denies science. He said it out loud.
I don't think science knows, actually.
I don't think science knows. Yet, the definition of the word science is a systematically organized body of knowledge. And if he wins this election, more are going to die. And it'll be your fault. The I'm not wearing a mask, my freedom people. Now, how many dead because tattooed tough guys had to go to a motorcycle rally? The Sturgis stupid spreader event. And it spread COVID across the entire country. It's Olympic level dumb shits. But there are going to be some really good deals of used Harleys on Craigslist. Just make sure you wipe them down before you ride them. MAGA. And by the way, for this rant I just did for the last 10 minutes, I take full responsibility. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Wear your mask! Hi, everybody. Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. How's the hair, by the way? All right?
Fantastic.
All right, just
Windblown.
All right, good. I didn't think about it until you started. I know, man. I've just been so crazed. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander.
What's up, people?
There could be only one.
That was weird. You introduced us at the same time, and we didn't know what to do.
It doesn't matter.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the whole world.
What's up, people?
2020 is just cray.
There could be only one. Go.
With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray
What's up, people?
and the Highlander.
What's up, people?
Hey, welcome. Okay, we're not doing it again. We're not doing it again.
Cut.
I am stunned. 2020 continues to keep bringing the hits. This thing that's bothering me now, COVID is now raging again. So I guess we're getting into fall. Ireland is shutting down. Ireland, we just found out that they're shutting.
Oh, wow.
They're shutting down.
The whole
6 weeks.
everything.
Down.
6 weeks. Down. They are shutting down.
Down the hatch.
What did they do wrong?
Their cases started rocking again. They said that you can't leave. You can no commingle households anymore for 6 weeks. You can't
Wow.
leave your house. You can't go 2 miles away from your house. so you can go to local stores. And when I went to Europe, it was weird how they do markets every day. Like we have big supermarkets and food's always there at all times. These guys set up a market every afternoon and you get fresh food.
So everybody has to get together to do it.
Which is why people in England aren't as fat as us. Do you know that? Because their food is all fresh. Not all of it, but I mean, they go every day and shop for 1 or 2 days, and they just shop at the end of the day.
That's in France.
There's other countries that are like France.
France is not in England.
I didn't say France is in England. I said country. I said because I know France is not in England.
Okay.
Here is the map of France.
But in England, that what you just said is not.
They do set up in Germany. They set up little markets.
Not
Yes, they do.
necessarily true what you said.
I've never been to France. It's the only place I ever saw.
You have been to France with me.
For a quick second.
It
but-
was not a quick second. It was 11 hours. And we put our suitcases in lockers, and at Jermaine Jackson's suggestion, we went to
We told this story before.
Champs-Élysées.
Yeah, Jermaine Jackson. No, was it Jermaine? It was
Yes.
Jermaine. Man, it's a weird moment. Weird moment in my life. I was getting back. I coming to the bathroom and I was leaning over. They were sitting in the seats in front of Jermaine, and I was leaning over. You know, you slide in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
We're all sleeping because
Yeah.
it's a long trip, and
The beds were lay flat.
And everyone was laid down, and Jermaine Jackson was this close to me, and I wanted to just go, "Thank you, Jermaine."
You were going to tell him good night
I was gonna say good night.
because he had to climb over
That
me.
went through my head. I've known Jermaine since I was a little kid. I watched the Jackson 5 cartoon as a kid. I was just saying, Jermaine Jackson's right there asleep.
He just
And I'm like, I could just kiss him right now.
and say,
I'm sure it'd be weird. It wouldn't be weird. Were they gonna arrest me on the plane?
that's
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
told
that's what they're
me
gonna do.
after. You said you just wanted to go, good night, Jermaine. Because he had to lean over me to get to his seat.
Right.
So his face was right above Jermaine sleeping. But when we woke up, he suggested where we should go. And so we got on the train and we utilized our 11 hours
11
wisely.
Yes, we did. It was fun. France was different. Europe will trip you out, people, because as long as you don't go as an American, go as a Canadian. We're all Canadian stuff. Don't be American. But this place is fucking awesome. Where's the theme park? Don't
get a Canadian jersey.
Canadian, yeah,
get,
exactly. Right. It's wear one of the English
hockey
soccer
jersey or
teams.
something.
Something. Yes. Don't wear. Yeah. Do not wear a mega hat. You will be mocked.
Yeah.
Horribly. We've lost our minds. Trump is now. Everybody's a criminal. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. The camera's a criminal. This microphone's a criminal. Those lights are criminals. Everybody's a criminal. That's what he just said.
Everybody that does not agree with him.
And so we were talking today. I guess he walked out of a 60 Minutes interview yesterday. Did you hear this?
No.
I'll keep you updated. Okay. That's my job anyway. You
Do
don't.
you
You don't.
just-
You don't even watch it where you're like, no, Titus is just going to come in with a thing on.
I'm
on
going to
Wednesday.
hear it right here and now.
Be caught up and okay.
So here's what happened. So I guess he does a minute interview with Leslie Stahl, and whatever happened in the middle, 45 minutes in, he got up while he was supposed to do a walk and talk with Mike Pence. Just got up and left.
And is now threatening on Twitter to release the 60 Minutes interview himself to preempt them releasing it, which is, we don't know how that would help, but he's saying that they're going to edit it and make it look bad.
Sure, I may have murdered that baby, but let me show you the video I shot when I murdered the baby. It's like, what is your
So
video
we don't know
gonna
why
say?
he got up or what
No,
happened
but-
right before then?
But Ray and I were talking, Bombshell and I were talking about how bad was it? Because he knows it's going to air on 60 Minutes no matter what happened. I think leaving the interview, storming out, really doesn't make it look better.
Had something to do with coronavirus. She was questioning, and then he tweeted a picture of her or video with, see, look at Leslie Stahl not wearing a mask in the White House.
Well, he's
because
immune, so he doesn't have to worry about
But
that.
it's also,
Right, for at
that
least 3
thing
months, yeah.
that he does that where you're like, but wait, you got it. You never wore a mask.
Right.
But now he's like, oh, look at her, because she just got done working. All the crew around her still has their mask on, but
She wore it the whole time and then took it off after he walked out.
so stupid.
So we've got that going on. He's going to release it. The interview's going to come out right before the election. Today, so the new Borat movie is coming out, which is it's not out yet. It's
Friday.
It's not Friday.
Today is
But
Wednesday.
Josh Gad, there's a lot of people who've seen it that are on Twitter. They're talking about it.
Seth Rogen.
Well, I guess Seth Rogen said he's seen it 6 times. He said it's by far the funniest piece of comedy he's ever seen in his life.
Wow.
And
Have you
Oh,
watched
okay.
any
See it.
Borat before?
Oh, yeah, they were-
Oh,
yeah,
the
that
first movie's
he's
great.
seen.
Yeah.
The world's
Borat.
burning down and our democracy is entirely at stake. But you're watching Borat. Good job.
Oh, we should all be watching Borat. This new one. So he's releasing it right before the election. The great news is I guess there's a scene where someone playing Borat's 15-year-old daughter is interviewing and gets Rudy Giuliani to show up at a hotel room for this interview.
Right.
And then there's this like she's putting the mic on him.
They
nicely.
do an interview, and then after it's over, she suggests that they go into her hotel room to have a drink.
Right.
And then she takes off his mic for him, and then
he asks for her phone number, and then she's sitting in front of him. And then
he's
he
been
puts
told she's 15.
and then he puts his hands down his pants. And starts playing with himself while she's standing right in front of him.
No shit.
And then Borat comes running in pink lingerie.
In lingerie, screaming, "Don't! She's my daughter. She's 15.
No,
she's too old for
she's
you.
too old.
She's too old for you.
Oh,
use my
that
anus. Use my back pussy. It's for you. I learned to do things with my mouth in prison. It's okay. Don't.
Oh my god.
Well, Giuliani then calls the police and reports that there's a man in what he says on the tape can best be described as a pink lace transgender outfit.
He's not familiar with Borat. He's never seen Borat.
He says later in an interview that he did, because he knows this is coming out, he says, first of all, he was removing his electronic equipment from the front of his pants.
From
I've
his
never
penis?
had you do audio
I
all the
actually worked
time.
in show business a long time. I actually had a TV show.
He does audio too.
Do you know what the
guys?
sound guys never did? Hey, hang this off your dick.
Let me just wrap this mic cable around your penis.
Clip this to your balls so we can hide. So there's no lump.
You get good audio from your balls.
That's
Why
never.
would he even say
It's
that?
just well. That's the thing is because your initial thing is even when you said it the first time I thought, oh okay, and then I thought, and then as you said it again I realized no one has ever. They put it in the side, back, or in your jacket.
Or for women in your back by your bra strap.
Right, but no one said, can you stuff this in your vagina for a second? Just put this in, it'll hide it. The wire.
He says she removed his mic. He had to remove the rest of the electronic equipment, at which time his shirt became slightly untucked. So he then had to reach in and retuck his shirt so that he looked more presentable. And he said like 5 times in the interview, I was clothed the entire time.
After he asked for her phone number.
Yes.
Thinking she was 15.
Right.
In real life, she was 24.
Well, maybe he wanted to mentor her.
Holy shit.
We are in a
Only the best people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
20, but 20.
Drain the
This is the American's mayor.
Drain the-
He's America's mayor. He's the dude. 9/11. He was on the cover of Time magazine. And you want to talk about how far people can fall? It's Shakespearean. This year is by far the most crazy story.
Do you guys want to hear something crazy?
Someone should do like
you
a
guys,
wacky
'cause they're
comedy
not
about
listening?
2020.
So do you remember last
I'm listening.
So anyway,
Yeah,
yesterday
why
Do
would
you
she
guys
just
remember
great.
last week when I'm doing the Joe Biden
To
to the American families at home?
you got to hug somebody.
I thought Jim Carrey did a great job, but people were kind of ripping him. I thought he was awesome.
He was awesome.
As Biden.
I love this as Biden. I like he's a gunslinger. I like that he's like picked up this thing where he's at.
So last week, I think it was, or a week before, I was saying how everything's awful and everyone I know is having major life tragedy, like
Yep.
out of the blue cranial leaks that can't be stopped. And I mean, crazy stuff. After I said that, 2 days later, my very good friend, Wendy, who has been on this podcast, who everybody knows we love dearly, was at the club in Denver downtown, stepped out of the loft into the darkness and fell 9 feet to the concrete floor.
Cracked 3 of her vertebrae, and she's in the hospital. She's out now, but
She's out, but she had to go in an ambulance. And I just thought, maybe it is me.
No, it's the year, man. Everybody.
Although I
know.
have bad stuff in my life too, so I think I'm covered.
My buddy Merrill, he had he keeps giving this returning infection. He's been on antibiotics 3 or 4 times this year already. It just seems like I think Satan just doubled down. Seems like, you know what, this is the year. I don't know, at 2020, it's got a nice symmetry to it. I'm gonna just
get everybody when they're down.
We talked about it last week briefly, right? About you were worried about melanoma, but you had a good outcome.
Hey,
Yeah, thank
doctor,
God.
you don't have it. Thank God.
On the podcast,
but he does have herpes, so
No,
it's a toss-up.
He does that. You don't say that on it, even as a joke, because now people can play. He doesn't have herpes.
I do not have herpes. Hold on, let me check.
He's got something worse than herpes. He's dealing with an insurance adjuster right now.
Oh, that's right. You did have that too. You
Yeah.
wrecked your car. You
Yep.
had some
Car was
crappy
almost total.
stuff
He didn't
too.
wreck it. He got rear-ended. And looking for love in all the wrong places, he got rear-ended on the way home. But in the car, he didn't. There's a thin thread that's implied
didn't
that
work.
doesn't exist.
It didn't work.
What?
What you said.
He
He was looking for love in all the right places. What are the wrong places?
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara is amazing.
It turns out it was a hit and run. The guy gave me fake information. So
So
I
you-
filed.
so
he did?
He gets rear-ended on the.
Say that
fake-
word. Say
He gets rear-ended.
Okay.
Like Joe Biden.
Rear-ended.
I got back
But
pussy.
have you see all the news guys going Joe Biden?
To Biden.
Ah, you got Joe Biden. How's your Joe Biden doing? That's a little bit sorry. My Joe Biden.
President.
I pulled my Joe Biden.
Well, check this out. I don't think I told this. So did I tell this about the man that got in the fender bender here? The older man? So he's the father-in-law of an associate pastor at Bel Air. And
Oh yeah, this guy.
he's 77. He gets in a minor fender bender on 405, I think.
I think you did say this. Keep going.
And if I did, sorry, I'm repeating myself. The guy that hit him went to get his insurance information from his car, came back with a knife and tried to kill him, stabbed him repeatedly. He's been in the ICU fighting for his life.
Is he okay now? Still
I
there?
need to check with Kim today.
Yeah,
but
we should
holy
check
crap.
on that. We should probably check on that. So then he gets this insurance company. It's funny, they screwed themselves. Insurance companies are horrible. They don't want to help you. I don't care what insurance company you have. We've done okay. There's been 1 or 2 times in life where they instantly signed because someone hit me, and I took pictures and I was on it, and they were like, so he and the insurance company basically, his car is what it is. He owes money on it. They offered to pay the car off. But they offered to pay the car off on it, but not fix it. So they were going to take his car.
They're going to take the car
He has
and
no
leave
car.
me with the balance on the loan. And I'm like, why don't you just cut me the check to get the fucking repairs done?
So
Your insurance company
Yes.
was going to...
Yes.
So we added up what it would have cost them to do it their way. Their way would have cost them $10,000 plus.
Yeah.
To
They
fix
were-
the car is $3.
Wait.
They were just like, no, we're usually assholes. Just keep it. Wait. This time it's
assholes.
yeah. This time's costing us
Wait,
$10,000.
what were
though.
they going... They were just going to pick it up?
Yeah.
Pick it
And
up.
That was the
keep
immediate
it?
thing. We're going to send a tow truck. I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
What about just fixing it?
Yeah.
Why don't we just
But
fix
what
it
were
like
they going to
regular?
do with it once they towed it?
Take it, repair it, flip it, probably auction it,
Keep
whatever.
it?
Yeah.
Well, how does that benefit you in any way?
Doesn't
But
at
it doesn't.
all.
But not only that, but what the car's worth, and plus the $3,000 they paid for it, plus all the towing and everything, they
Basically, they think
they would
by-
have lost money on the resale.
They think by paying for the tow, that's what you get as a settlement.
We sat down and figured it out. Here's the thing. They're so used to being assholes and saying no. They're so used to it that they screwed themselves. They basically said it was going to, so the way they wanted to do it was they were going to lose $4,000.
right?
The car is going to take $3,000 to fix. And so finally they called him back and they're like, someone sat down and went, wait, guys.
Oh, wait.
Listen, we're supposed to be assholes. I get it. And good job, everybody. But
This is how they say that. I talked to my colleagues. Oh, you mean somebody figured it out?
So
Okay.
what
someone
is-
did math.
What
What
are they saying
morons.
now?
They're gonna finally after
Pay him.
you know.
Pay them.
They're
going
going
to
to pay to fix it.
Yes. Like,
Wow.
like
Well,
what
you've
I've
had
paid
two
for
good news
4 or 5 years. I've been
moments
paying.
this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Almost terrible,
due.
and then-
Homeboy's due. He's due after
Yeah.
the last couple of years. He's due for some good news.
That's true.
Right. Thank you.
I do not begrudge him. the insurance company coming
I'm glad.
through
I have USAA.
and not having cancer.
name-
I don't begrudge you that.
They're like, oh fuck, I might have skin cancer. Well, car's wrecked. I don't give a shit about that.
2020. 2020.
Oh god.
I have USAA, and they're awesome. They
Yeah, they're pretty good. They come right through.
they come through all the time. Even
Yeah.
when my engagement ring got stolen, they replaced it directly from Tiffany's with a bigger diamond. When I went to have it appraised, the lady was like,
sentence, boy. That is
"It's the insurance company. It's not white or black. It's because my dad was military. I can have USAA and Navy Federal."
No.
Yeah.
No, my diamond from Tiffany's, I got stolen and they replaced it with a
bigger
better
one.
diamond. That's a white
But
girl
that's
sentence.
only being positive towards the insurance company. By the way, it's super
2019.
racist for you to even insinuate that only white girls
No,
would
I'm
have a
just-
diamond from Tiffany's. Who's the asshole now?
That's a valid point. That's not what I meant at
You
all.
have implicit
Damn it.
bias, and you need to go home and learn from this.
All right, I will go home and learn from this.
Also, could have been a man. Why are you sexist?
Man, you, she right. You racist. You racist
And
as hell.
sexist.
Racist and wow, I did racist and sexist, and I apologize to everyone. Let's just get out of the way. Hold on, I gotta adjust my microphone.
It's not in there. I told you. Stop.
It sounded like an
By the
asshole.
way,
not
that's
balls.
what I call it.
Let me tell you. Okay, Rodney
My
Dangerfield.
microphone.
Speaking to the mic. Well, it was Rodney Dangerfield, right?
I don't know.
It was your era.
Rodney Dangerfield was not my era, asshole. What happened today? We've lost our mind. What is going on?
It was, right?
No, Rodney Dangerfield was not my era. He was 2 decades before
When
me.
you were little, he was alive and performing.
And you too. When you were little, he was.
No,
Like,
he
you
was
were just
performing
littler.
still.
He was big in the 80s, though.
80s and 90s.
right?
I think he didn't die till 88.
You
or
were in
89.
you were in high school. You started your career in the 80s.
Yeah, but he wasn't my era. He was already done. He was he was a big movie star.
Wasn't he part of why you wanted to do comedy?
Listen, you insulted me, and I get it. I'm old. Can we fucking move on?
Okay, let's move on, and let me tell you what my life is like at home.
Jesus.
I'm not. I'm Rachel.
By the way, if you guys want to see our we're doing a show together called Us
Right now,
in
actually.
December. No,
This is it.
we're actually exploring. We're improving bits now.
please mail your $10. What is that stuff called? Not Fitbit, Bitcoin. Don't send us a Fitbit. Send us Bitcoin. I don't feel well.
I know. I got it. We both got it. And you're a little crotchety.
I am really allergic to corn. Let me just say that before I tell
Which
you
is
what he
new.
did
It
this
didn't
morning.
used to be.
Fine. Nobody needs corn.
Nobody does.
Nobody needs corn
Most
ever.
of it is genetically modified.
And they don't use corn for anything in food at
Right.
all. Zero.
Right.
Almost basically nothing.
But
It's just
they
a little
put it
ball
in-
of sugar.
It's awful. And so last night I was like, screw it. And we ate popcorn.
taking a Benadryl. I got this.
I took 2 Benadryl
Mm-hmm.
thinking I'll sleep well and I won't be affected by this. And now my face is so swollen. I can see it out of the corners of my eyes.
It's pretty bad when you can see your own face.
Just because I wanted popcorn.
I
It's not
know.
fair.
It's not fair.
Anyway, he was trying to entertain me this morning. I had gotten up and I was working and I went back and laid in bed. So when he came out of the shower, he had the towel wrapped over his shoulder and around his waist. And he
And that's it.
stood
No microphone.
I like-
in front of me
was like a
as
toga.
the man with no name, the inner retard, in Roman times,
Why you gotta tell it
speaking
like
to
this,
his
bitch?
countrymen about why they have to.
Gentlemen, I think I've gathered you here today to talk about these annoying dresses we wear. Why? I have an idea called pants. Can we try that?
Leaves don't work very well.
Yeah,
The man with no name invented pants. Pant.
Oh my
That's
God.
all I have
It
to
was
say.
so weird that you just out of the blue bring our little personal stuff up. Don't
Way
you?
more interesting than Donald Trump. I promise.
True. Ooh, Melania didn't go to the thing. She's having more problems with COVID than he's having because she wouldn't even go to then again with Melania, I would just say I don't want to go to I'm not going to this rally.
I was thinking
the
that
assholes with the fucking hats are going to be yelling at me. I don't want to go.
that and probably I would be pissed off if he got me sick after I probably told him several times that we should be more careful and he won't listen and then I get sick. What would really piss her off is that Barron got it, which he did, and then that was Trump's fault too. So he endangered both of their lives. And then on top of that, he's even a bigger laughing stock than he's ever been and he's crazier than he's ever been. I wouldn't go either. I would just say lingering cough, lingering
I didn't
cough.
think of that. If you had said the whole time, look, this is serious, you know it's serious. We heard you say it to Bob Woodward. And you still got you went out because Barron's never at the rallies and she's rarely at the rallies if ever, and he brought it home to both of them. You'd be livid. You'd be
After I told you.
you would be so.
And she's always swatting his hand away, so maybe she kind of knew that
I'm
was...
not saying she's a nice person, don't get me wrong, but I
Good noted.
yeah, but you can tell the contempt that she has for him in a lot of ways and I would be pissed. I would be so pissed.
Well, see, here's the thing you don't know about it. That's what I was talking about in the Armageddon update. Here's the thing. These dumbasses who go, no, man, it's only 11,000 people. Only 11,000 got it. Everybody else had a comorbidity, which they don't know what that word means, by the way. A comorbidity, something wrong, and that's why they died, not because of COVID.
A comorbidity?
That's what they're calling a comorbidity. Like they had asthma,
No,
chronic asthma.
I know what a comorbidity
It's when someone else
is.
signs for a loan
You were
for
just
you.
saying
Right.
that so
or when you
fast.
die next to them.
Right.
No, it's when you have a burial
How do you want the
plot
comorbidity.
It's when you have a burial plot next to your husband.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
We have comorbidity. I just couldn't understand what you were saying.
Am I doing it? Am I cluttering?
You always do. So
All
I
right.
was like, what?
So basically, they're saying that there's only 11,000 people have died specifically of COVID.
That's the new right wing thing.
Where did they
That's
get
the
this
new
number?
thing.
Pull
now,
this number
before
out?
it was, now she's pointed out, it was a hoax.
Uh-huh.
Then it was Democratic hoax.
Plandemic.
It was pandemic. Then it only kills.
Has a ring to it.
It's
Old
only the
people.
same as the flu. It only
Yeah.
kills old
Right,
people.
yes.
Young people are immune.
Yep.
Right.
And now it's like, well, it's only killed 11,000 people. Well, the CDC.
So they're coming around.
Yeah, exactly. They're slowly
They're-
putting their toe in the water of we're
oh,
idiots. Yeah,
okay.
just very slow. Very
Easing
like
into it.
really,
Yeah.
really hot tub.
Ease into
It's
the-
going to take them a long time.
They've at least made it to death. Now
Yeah.
we're at
Right.
least in death.
Right.
They're just not up to the number.
So that's saying that all these people who've lived for years with kidney dialysis, who's lived for years with asthma, who've lived for years with heart problems, they were fine. Then they got
Right.
COVID, but they're
Right.
saying no, they died of heart problems.
That's a stupid.
And
you
I just want to keep.
So
I'm going to bang
stupid.
my head against something metal.
We went over a bunch of these scenarios yesterday. My dad has he has lung cancer. He's in remission, melanoma that spread to his lung, and he's in remission and he's fine, but that's a comorbidity. He also has heart disease, genetic heart problems.
And he got an infection with his foot.
And so let's say he gets this infection in his foot, which he has, and he died. Did he die of the heart disease? No, he died from the infection.
You
But
could
they're
argue-
saying, no, he died because of the heart
So you're a
disease.
motorcyclist and,
Okay.
and you have asthma
Yep.
and you're on the freeway
Yep.
on your bike and
Yep.
you get hit by an 18-wheeler and
Yep.
it drags you 300 feet.
Yep.
So you obviously died of
Asthma.
Okay, there you go. I just want to make sure that we're all clear on what's going on.
Your friend actually said this to you, and I don't know. Ashley Cashman came over this past Saturday, and we made Christmas ornaments, and she calls it mental gymnastics, and it is. It's like, how did you go flip, and then you arrived there? It's the crazy. I feel like I'm in La La Land.
But it's. Okay, listen. If the guy was James Bond like and he was like super cool, abs, great shape.
Keep saying this.
But I just that you dummies.
Idris Elba, say.
Idris Elba, just a badass,
Okay.
a badass with like so smooth.
And he has the
not
accent.
not a car salesman, but just a badass. Like I don't like you walk out of the room and go, how did I just gave that guy my wallet, and I'm fine with it. Like those kind of like
Right,
those.
right.
He's not that
happy about
guy,
it.
and
No.
yet these people just go for it.
We're so used to having a giant orange windbag, pockmarked windbag with a cotton candy frisbee that
Swiddle.
shifts in the wind as one entire piece. And he's got bronzer the color of a baboon's
Right.
ass. It's like, and it only goes to here. He's got a vagina on his neck, but people are like, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
He doesn't know words. He doesn't know history. He doesn't know geography. He's not kind to people. He has zero compassion.
Doesn't know words.
But that's the guy.
So I figured out how they're doing this. The face. I keep figuring, how are they only doing it? They're putting a thing like an egg,
Like a bowl?
They're putting like an opening over his face.
It looks like they put painter's tape. Just
It does.
like,
It looks like it does
we're
look
gonna
like
cut it in.
I'm sorry, we didn't have no time to finish the paint job, so we didn't finish the
His
trim.
face is
We didn't
drywall.
finish the trim. So he's got a thing, and I think they just push it back because his hair takes a long time to do.
Yeah.
So they push this thing on his face, and then they spray him, and then they take it off.
See, I don't think it's spray necessarily. I think it's actually makeup because that night that he came home from, two reasons. The night that he came home, remember
things.
when he was sad?
Yeah. Oh,
And he
yeah.
got off the helicopter after
Same look after the 60 Minutes.
the
thing,
no
by the way.
attendance rally.
Tulsa. He
They
was sad.
took
Good job, TikTok.
pictures of him, and the inside of his white shirt collar is dark
His arm
orange
is-
from
his
makeup.
skin now.
The other, my other piece of evidence that I submit to you both that it's makeup and not spray tan is that when he went to the hospital, the very next day he shot that video and he had no color.
And you know what?
Yes,
he
right, I
looked
noticed that,
better.
yeah.
I was like, I told her,
He
I go,
did.
I
He
go,
looked like a person.
Yeah.
He looks normal now. What is he doing? So no one's helping the guy either.
They're intentionally, someone said, welcome to the resistance, Donald Trump's makeup artist. Because you can take a sponge and you can blend that, you
Right.
know, but they are not
It is
blending it. They are
Well,
using
But
a
you can
ruler.
tell-
Yeah.
So you can tell that he's not nice to anybody,
Right.
By how things end up in his life. So when we were doing in show business, you hear all these stories all the time from people that are in show business. You know, we've heard horrible stories about people that
Yeah.
that are well
Like
loved.
who they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, who they really are. And then you hear stories where like people you respect, and like you get to a point after you've been in show business long enough where you're like, I don't fucking want to hear about someone I like. I stop asking because I don't want to hear. Then you hear people like who are they're great. You love them, and you're like, oh, what are they like? And when they were here, what were they like? And you're like, here we go. They were great. The guy went out of the way, and he gave all the guys at the front gate. He gave them DVDs, box sets. He bought them lunch. He bought the makeup people bottles of wine from his vineyard, and you're like, okay, that's the guy. But you can tell that by the way people around him treat him. And because he is powerful, they hate him.
Yeah,
because
right.
they just
You
it's
can-
really
you know that
subver-
secondhand opinion.
It's
that people-
really subversive, man. Because you're right. He's got Peter's name. He's got a line around his
Yeah,
head.
you don't want to go the extra mile for him.
No,
And he doesn't look in the mirror. I mean, I guess.
but I'll bet you
right?
he's shitty to makeup people.
He thinks he looks good. I think that's the problem.
And obviously, Hope Hicks has been abused her whole life because she just takes it.
I don't know why.
What
but
happened to her?
Money and
what
power.
happened to Bill Barr, by the way? Can you give us?
I don't know, but he's mad at Bill Barr. He started talking smack
because he hasn't
publicly
arrested
about Bill Barr.
Biden yet.
Let's see. I was looking up the Borat thing with Giuliani.
Because that's one thing Bill Barr doesn't just leap to do stuff that Trump wants. You know, if there's any evidence at all of it, so you know damn well.
He's also said things about Fox, so maybe they just weren't towing the line for like a split second, and then
Yeah.
he was, mad at Fox News.
I think everybody's starting to smell this might be a rout. Don't buy it though, people. Vote. Get out and vote because, by the way, route or not, this dude's gonna have Russia. They're gonna hack voting machines. They're gonna
Every dirty trick.
They're gonna disallow ballots. Go like crazy. So did he disappear? Because he's a fat guy.
Okay,
I mean, Chris Christie came out when he got done.
Yeah.
Chris Christie
not gonna-
can't believe he lived. Did Chris Christie interview?
unbelievable.
Chris Christie's interview was like, hey, by the way, guys, please get a mask on. Wear a mask. I shouldn't have done it. They told me it was going to be fine. It was not fine. Get a mask on. He was in ICU for 5 days.
He's meeting with Memphis police today.
So he made it through.
It says protesters detained as William Barr meets with Memphis police officers. So he's having them arrest. Oh, the protesters were protesting him coming.
Oh, I thought he was protesting like
Their
segregation.
shouts could be heard in the
schools,
room where
turned
he was
walls.
due to speak with officers, so they detained the protesters. So he's alive
Can I be honest?
and still being an a-hole.
I cannot wait until we no longer have politics to talk about every week. I want Joe Biden to be president so we can
Biden.
start. I want Joe Biden to be the president.
That's why I occasionally tell things about you wearing a toga as the man with no name.
So they don't think I'm a dude. They don't think he's
Because
just a
people
psychopath.
get tired. No, they know you're a psychopath. That doesn't help. But I think people get tired of hearing about this stuff. I know I do. I know we have to talk about it because our democracy is burning.
We only got
but
14 days, people. Oh well, here's my biggest fear is what happens before or after between if Joe Biden wins. And by the way, he may not. People with what they're going to do, vote. But if Joe Biden wins, I'm a little concerned about between November 3rd and January 20th. That time frame scares the shite out of me.
Yep.
And I was talking to my buddy Billy the other day, and Billy calls me like this every couple of days now. I met once every 2 weeks. All right, tell me it's going to be okay. Give me some insight. Today he sent me a video. They interviewed a guy, an attorney that works for the Biden campaign, that they have 600 lawyers and about 1,200 volunteers,
Wow.
legal volunteers. Because what's going to have to happen is he's going to file, when Trump loses, he's going to file a case in 50 states. And because what he wants is of those 50 states, one goes to the next Court of Appeals, Supreme Court. He's going to have his people now on there, and he's going to try to take the election. This guy said, not going to happen. They've already got it set up. They've literally already have counter cases ready to be filed that fast. So they're ready for it. That
Crazy times.
isn't it? Like, why, like this is America. This is not. We were always held up as the reason other places had democracy. And why did we let this douchebag come in and take it?
What was that Supreme Court case yesterday where it was a tie on voting, and it had to do with, it was Pennsylvania, right? It was 4-4.
Oh, yeah.
And it was something so obvious. Let me see if I can find it. I thought, of course, everyone would say, no, everyone should have the right to. I know what it was. It
Texas.
But it was even if your ballot is postmarked in time,
Right.
but it arrives after the date, it cannot be counted.
That's bullshit.
That was the question was, can it? And they were tied 4-4.
Well, because it was you couldn't. Sure, they even said, so because they were tied 4-4, it got sent back down to the lower court, and the lower court ruling stands. The lower court ruling was that yes, if the postmark is after, but if
it comes up again, it'll just get kicked right back to the Supreme Court,
right.
and
Well,
he'll have 9 justices.
Drive-in voting. They had Texas drive-in voting. They said that they had a case today that said drive-in voting is illegal. You can't have it.
Why? Why don't you want people to vote? I mean, I know why,
so let me say
but
this. So
crazy.
all this effort, right? What is the effort it takes to get all these attorneys to fight to cheat the system? What if you just had? Here's my idea. I have an idea for this. Now you guys listen.
All right.
Every tune in.
Okay.
What if, when you became elected official, instead of trying to cheat the system to win, you just did a really good job?
No, that's ridiculous. That's so
No.
stupid.
Less effort.
That's
Yeah, you would just have a plan that would work for everybody, and then they would all vote you in.
That's
idea
not
that
what
is.
elected officials do.
Yes, they do. Most of them do. Barack Obama, 0 indictments.
No.
They didn't sue anybody. They didn't go after anybody. No one sued them.
No.
Yes,
This
that's
is
how.
nonsensical, what you're saying.
Wait, so you're saying that if you got elected to govern, the best thing to do
Right.
is to fight the system and cheat everybody instead of doing the job you were hired for.
Yeah. And let a lot of people die as long as you're making a lot of money. That's why everybody becomes a politician, right?
One more thing I want to go over. So Trump's going after Joe Biden quite a bit. He's saying that he's got deals in China, and China gave him all these millions and millions of dollars. New York Times yesterday reports, guys, you got to listen to this. New York Times reports that Trump has had a bank account in a Chinese bank for many, many years. And when he got elected, between the time he got elected and before he started the presidency, after he got elected, a deposit of $18 million was 17.6 was put
deposited into the bank
into
account,
this bank account
linked to Chinese government accounts
Chinese
where
government
it originated.
deposited $18 million.
And it was paid to the company, that the Trump Holdings company that has the bank account there. The company prior to this didn't make money, and suddenly in
Hadn't made money.
2017 had a windfall, which then of that 17.8 he cashed out $15.5 million in cash out of that account.
So check this out.
Withdrew.
So the company that he has,
How many things?
Wait,
How many
But the
things?
company in China, the Trump company in China, they said that $18 million is 5 times the amount the company made in the last 5 years put together.
Total.
So
this was a deposit.
One-time deposit.
One-time deposit.
Right
Yep.
after he
Holy
became
right
president.
after he became president.
Wow. How is he still?
It's a miracle.
It's
It's a
first
miracle.
of all, anytime he accuses somebody of something, it's
The next
almost
day.
he could almost say, "Oh wait, that's me."
Yeah.
Like he just uses
But
whatever.
that's what he does. It goes Goebbels is what Hitler's side propaganda minister said. Always accuse the opponent of doing what you're doing.
There you go.
And that's what he does every fucking day.
Yep.
Yep.
Because he was briefly, Rachel Maddow was saying it last night, he was running on Joe Biden is soft on China for a minute there. Remember, it was all about Joe Biden and China, Joe Biden. And now $15.5 million cash. That's not even including the Las Vegas money that was laundered, that he got 2 large deposits right after he became president.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy town.
and
He
how-
has profited all these
But this is why he doesn't
morons
want you to see his taxes.
that say that he doesn't take any money to be president. He writes off that money, that the salary that he doesn't take, because he doesn't need it. He has made millions of dollars. Campaign funds, 100 million campaign funds just disappeared.
170. Brad Parscale is arrested because 170.
He was arrested.
Because $170 million of campaign funds, this is donor money, was actually laundered through the Trump corporations. Check this out. So remember, there was a big thing yesterday. They were talking about they don't have any money. Like Biden raised $398 million in donors. People want this dude gone. People are like, do you know how much last month? $398 million last month. They have so much money on hand. They took out an ad during the World Series.
They're taking out another one tonight.
It's like,
One ad, $4 million.
Dude, bro, we want you out.
Yeah. Whatever you got, take it.
The
Here.
lines,
but
the lines for voting. They said there's what?
Yeah,
27?
but you're looking at early numbers and they're close, and I can't understand that
in the polls.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
well,
how
plus
is
8.
it not like 98%?
Yeah, to 2. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, and it's all
fathom
mental
that.
patients. Like 2% of mental patients. Like, and even that, it's not 100% of mental
That's
patients.
just a clerical error.
Yeah, he's
2%.
got 7. The mental patients are still going 32% for Biden. I get it. I don't know. Because it's always like this, because people are voting an ideology, not for the country. They're voting an idea, but the Republicans don't have an idea anymore. You know, I was thinking that the Republicans need to stop. If I was going to sit down and give the Republicans advice, I would say, all right, here's what you guys need to do. Number 1, you need to give up abortion. Just give it up. Just give it up. It's a law. It's constitutional. We're not happy about it, but we're not going to keep fighting it because it's never.
Just let it go.
It's just all it is bullshit to get votes. Just so you know, it's never going to go
and
away.
banning abortion doesn't stop abortion.
No,
it just stops safe
Right.
abortion.
Yes, and it makes women. So that's fine. Yes, and by the way, and again, I'll say it again. I've never met any woman who had an abortion that was like, "Woo, high five! I had an abortion." Never.
Right.
It's a hole in their soul that they drag for the rest of their lives. Nobody wants an abortion. People do it because their lives are going to be whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's not good, and nobody wants it. But to limit it, you're just going to start killing women. And
Again.
Yes,
Which
again.
is what was happening.
Yes, and it's going to be a lot worse. So they need to give that up. They need to go, guys, we're moving on, okay? Because all it is for votes. These guys, half of the Republicans have paid for abortions. What are they talking about? They keep finding guys who had these mistresses, and they, so I would say, all right, then you guys need to stop helping the rich people. Guess what? The rich people are going to stay rich. Do you know how I know that? Because throughout the beginning of history, from the first guy who had too many pelts in his cave, the rich people will figure out a way to stay rich. They always do. What you need to do is, I love the thing of like, pick yourselves up by your bootstraps, but as Martin Luther King said, first you got to have boots. That's so the Republican Party needs to, and this happens all the time.
I feel like I should clarify when you say give up abortion.
Give up making it a divisive issue. That's what I mean.
Nobody, I get why Republican conservatives can't hear that and be okay with that. Give up abortion. I think the idea is more that you just stop. You don't do it, and you don't help people do it, but you just stop being involved in other people's lives and decisions.
Right.
It's already been granted through the courts. There was a reason that it was granted, and now just butt out, I think, is more the thing.
There you go.
There are so many
because
things that could be solved if people stopped trying to regulate other people's lives.
But that's it. It's funny because that's part of the Republican thing.
That's one of the things that they argue.
Out. Get out of people's lives. Get government out of our lives. Oh no, unless we want to do something, and then we'd like to shut it down. So that they need to get rid of that. They need to stop helping. They need to make sure everybody just pays their fair share. Look, I don't care who you are, Democrat, Republican, Independent. Nobody likes to pay taxes. But I was thinking about it yesterday. I was driving down I was getting off the freeway, and I look over at the off ramp where the little hill is because the overpass. And it's this overgrowth of brambles and bushes, and they're brown and shitty. And I thought, well, how come no one's maintaining this?
It's getting worse.
It's getting way worse.
Yeah.
I go, how come no one's maintaining what's going on in California? And that means that we've stopped taking care of it. Like Caltrans should be out there because it's a fire hazard now. I was looking at it. If someone throws a cigarette out there, the entire side of the freeway is going up. And that's going to screw up traffic, and that can't happen.
Could we just throw out there too really quickly that when he continues to condemn California for how we care for the forest lands, that the largest majority of them
California
are
forest.
federal
Right.
property,
Right.
and he should be federally managing those.
Yeah, he needs to get a rake.
Just want to say,
If you're gonna bitch about raking the forest, grab a rake, motherfucker. These are yours.
Yeah, right.
It's under your jurisdiction.
and
It's
what
your
was
backyard,
the thing
buddy.
about we're taking our tiny bucket and we're taking water to the sea
What was that
to take care of the tiny fishes?
No, we're
Did
sending,
you hear this interview?
We're sending water to the. This
We're
was the
sending
weirdest thing.
water to the sea.
He says,
our water
he goes,
to the
do you see
sea.
California that's sending all that water to? They're just sending it out to the sea. You know, to take care of the tiny fishes. So you get a little bucket, you put little tiny fishes in it, and they got to take care of the tiny fishes. Oh, that's what's going on in California. And we all went, what?
What?
What tiny fishes? What?
I'm very confused. A guy posted on Twitter yesterday, I think it was, or day before, that because here's the other side of that abortion argument is that they also have fought to remove birth control
Right.
from our insurance. And so it's like, so you're not addressing either side of
At
the
the
problem. It's
beginning of
like,
it or right.
you want to stop abortion? Why don't you help people get safe, cheap, or free access to birth control?
Right, because then it would get right. Then we wouldn't have that problem anymore.
Which Planned Parenthood does, but they're trying to shut them down. And
but again, this is all.
so this guy posted that how about to make it safe for everyone, to snip the problem in the bud that every man gets a vasectomy because it's reversible.
Reverend.
And so when you want to have a baby, then you go and you have to think about it. You got to reverse the vasectomy, and then you got to plan to have
But
the
then
baby.
they say, no. Shutting that down is also a form of abortion because you're getting rid of the
Well,
sperm.
not everybody
You're
says
stopping
that. That's
sperm.
the crazy people. Like,
I'm sorry, it's all crazy to me. Like, so the GOP is no longer a political party. They're a cultish party based in religion. What we're supposed to have separation of church and state.
it's not based in religion, though.
well,
That's not true.
Well, they claim it though.
Yeah, but
They
it's
claim
not
it.
at all.
No,
if
not-
you
not- if
actually
you look at-
read the Bible, it's very polar opposite
Yeah.
of what the Bible says to do and say and how we're supposed to act. It's nothing like it.
And Jesus said, "Really?
Well, maybe the Old Testament. Old Testament's more Republican.
yeah,
You know,
amen.
No, it's not. All through the Old Testament is be kind to the foreigner. Remember that you
Oh, well,
once
sure.
were exiled in Egypt.
Socialist. Yeah, socialist.
Constantly being kind. There's
That's
a lot
Antifa.
of talk about being kind to the foreigner. A lot of talk, and nobody. No, we currently have 554 children whose parents they cannot find that we separated at the border, and they have no way of finding them because they didn't document it.
Found it on the way. I was listening to that because that really interested me in the sense that, like, okay, so wait. You just took kids away from their parents, illegal immigrants or not. You separated them. So in this horrible situation, they were obviously doing so well in their other countries, why they came here.
Yeah.
Right.
Things were going so well, they wanted to march 1,000 miles
Right.
and come to America.
That we probably disrupted their government in the first place.
Because they were kicking ass,
Uh-huh.
because they were players. So they come here, they're in stress, they're trying to make a living, and I get it, legal, whatever. It's illegal immigrants, got it. But there's got to be a way. If you understood okay, let's just go finances. If you understood what illegal immigration brings to the country when they get jobs and they pay taxes, they receive $38 billion in services. They give $64 billion in tax revenue.
That's more.
Yeah, that's more.
That's more. Is that
they
more?
contribute more. Yeah.
Oh.
Or I would say to all you people, and this has been, a lot of comics have done this. I think Doug Stanhope did a brilliant bit about it. Go pick some fucking cabbage for a couple of weeks, dude. Go ahead, White guy. Go, Chad, Brian. Go pick cabbage. You know, I don't because we don't want them taking your job. You know, why don't you go have them go to the stockyard and go clean all that stuff up? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, and by the way, can you mow the lawns too? Those people come here, they take the jobs that Americans don't want. Am I wrong?
No, but I'm very uncomfortable with this conversation.
Why?
I don't know, the picking cabbage part. It was a little.
Well, I was like, fuck cabbage. That shit sucks.
They were complaining. They were complaining about it.
Also,
there was
I think
farms,
it's lettuce.
Farms. Because we live in California. California provides a third of the food to the nation.
Yes.
Vegetables. So
doesn't California also? Are we paying for like the entire country?
yeah, we pay double. Yes, we pay $418 billion in taxes, federal taxes. The next biggest state is New York. That pays $212 billion.
Yeah, so we're covering
taxes.
all the
Yes,
all
Kentucky,
the Midwestern
Alabama,
states.
yes, all these places that don't contribute a tax base, we cover. And then he goes, "Yeah, we're not going to send you money for the forest fires." I think I'd like to Gavin Newsom to just go gangster on him one day and be like, "Say what we're going to do." So what we're going to do, that federal tax excise thing on the little checks that we give everybody, if you sign a check as a federal tax, we're going to actually kill that. Till the forests are raked.
What did you say about the little fishes? You're gonna swim with
those little fishes.
I got you. You're gonna have cement
It's
shoes.
part of an
with the fishes.
ecosystem that makes us work. So we're gonna fix that first, then we'll help out Alabama.
Coming for you next.
It would just be. It's so funny to bitch about the state that's keeping
What's
all these other,
interesting-
like Missouri and Mississippi.
What's interesting is that those immigrants that come here, and I do think that people should do it legally. I do think that when people are seeking asylum, that is legal. But I find it interesting that those people, when they get their citizenship, could pass a test that our own president
Can't
cannot pass.
Yes, they have to pass a test to get and the other thing is that Obama deported 3 million illegal aliens. Trump hasn't got rid of that many.
Obama actually has the highest number of deportations between the
They
two.
called him the deporter in chief. He did his job, but he also said.
But he didn't rip children away from the parents as he did that, and then lose
They
them.
always say that though. Obama started the cages. Yeah, people don't understand. So yes, agreed. Obama did have detention centers, but those were for. So they had these traffickers that were taking kids and they were bringing them into America. They were sex traffickers. That's what they were doing.
Right.
So we would. So our ICE guys and our Border Patrol guys would find those guys, ask the kids, Spanish to the kids, is this your mom and dad? No, it's not my mom and dad. They would go, dude, you're under arrest. You got to go in detention center till we can send you back to your family. That's why those kids were held in detention centers. That's why.
Yeah, there was no separation.
Yeah, they didn't go, so your mom and dad and this your kid? Now, there was a policy, Stephen Miller came up with it.
Such a charming lad.
He is, isn't he? He's good. He actually, he basically, the story is that his thing was, if you separate the families and let everybody else know, in Mexico and these other countries, that if you go to America, you will lose your kids, they won't come anymore. Which is some Nazi shit.
Yeah.
That's literally some Nazi shit.
Who
And-
kept much better records, by the way.
Yeah.
How could they?
What
They
a
were doing it.
weird- You say what you will about the Nazis. Say what you will, but they were German
lot
and
of
they
stamps.
wrote everything down. They had receipts.
A lot of notarizing was going on.
Exactly. Yes,
You
I know
will
exactly
die.
what your mother and your father are. Why? It's in the book.
Have the record of all the deaths.
The Nazis, at least they kept records.
We order the metal.
Say what you will. Say what you sure.
had spreadsheets.
Sure, they were brutal and they committed genocide, but we knew who they killed.
Right, they had good lists.
Very good at bookkeeping. This episode brought to you today by ButcherBox.
Yay!
I didn't have a segue, so I just had to just launch right into it.
But you went for it.
Because you guys were going a whole other direction. The lobster tails fillet thing ended today, I think.
Did you order, right?
I did.
Good.
And there's a new deal, but do you want to tell people about ButcherBox, why you love it?
Well, I will say this. Two nights we had the chicken from ButcherBox, the best chicken. It tastes so good, and it doesn't have any, what is good about it? It's organic and grass-fed, and so we had that 2 nights. You cooked a bunch of it up. I had
All
it.
meat, free of added antibiotics.
Oh, and then we had
added
taco meat
hormones.
last night. The taco meat we had last night, you made from the ground beef. That was
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Each box has 9 to 11 pounds of meat, which is enough for 24 individual meals. Packed fresh, shipped frozen. Don't have to leave your house. It's awesome. It's 100% grass-fed and finished beef, free-range organic chicken, heritage pork, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. Oh, they got the salmon back. That stuff is awesome. And sugar nitrate-free bacon. So they've got this whole new deal going on right now because Thanksgiving is coming up. By the way, Grandma Jean is supposed to be here for Thanksgiving if it's going to be safe enough for her to get here. So I don't know, but I'm hoping. So we are going to get this. So right now, ButcherBox is offering new members a whole turkey for free in your first box.
Wow.
It's an entire
Really?
turkey. So you can get your Thanksgiving turkey, which for some people now this year especially, but in general being with
You
their
and I are
family,
gonna
it'll
eat
be
it.
the only good thing
You
that
and I are
happens
eating a
this
whole turkey
Thanksgiving.
because we're not seeing anybody. We're eating a whole turkey.
Grandma,
Grandma's going to be here, but boy, we got to make sure everybody's safe. This is getting bad. This COVID thing.
if it's safe, she's coming. I called her last night and said we need to play it by ear. She has her
you need
flight.
to dress her like an astronaut. She
I
needs,
told her
she
that
needs to
too.
literally put on her clear couch covers, just wrap herself.
She doesn't
in
have
that
couch
plastic.
covers.
All grandmas have it. They're
Grandma
just
is
put away.
not a
Covered in
couch
doilies
cover
and-
grandma. Grandma is very hip, I'll have you know.
And she tries to steal our butcher box.
She always does.
She tries
yeah.
to take it home.
In her
I'm gonna take
purse.
that home on the plane. No, you're not taking a roast on the plane.
I told you, with my mom's collectibles, Shay and I are going through them, and she's like, well, I just don't have anywhere to put them. Let me think about it. And we're both like, how does she do that?
she's
We didn't
serious.
even invite her in the room. And she just walks in and goes, oh, I don't know where I'm going to put that. I told her last night.
What a great way. What a great game.
I said, if you get on this flight, and I'm almost thinking about flying there and flying with her, I don't know if it's going to work out, but she really wants to come. And I told her, I said, if you come and fly here, you cannot take off your mask to take a phone call, which she did in the store when I was there with her. She's in the middle of the store and just pulls her mask down and, hey, honey, and takes this phone call.
So
And
the
she-
virus doesn't go through the mask, but sound travels through the mask.
People can
Yes.
hear you. She said, well, honey, I'm not going to unless I get a phone call. And then I was like, Grandma, and then I
Not
can
worth it.
hear her. She's laughing. She's being a jerk. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to put her in a bubble. I told her maybe a face shield, I don't know,
We should just sign her up for ButcherBox.
and keep her away from here
Did you
for
tell them how to
Thanksgiving.
get it? Did you tell them how to get it?
no.
Finish the commercial,
I
for
got
God's
totally
sake.
distracted. All you have to do is go to get right now entire turkey for free in your first box. Just go to butcherbox.com/Titus. That's butcherbox.com/Titus. You guys got to try the salmon too because it's really good. They have different things at different times. So I guess lobster's gone now. Salmon, scallops will come again. Wake up. It's awesome.
It's over. And now, from sea to shining sea, continent to continent, and sometimes space, she's not ready with the bombshell news.
So we're going to stall.
So we are going to make
A
noises.
long
as if-
whistle.
No, I am ready. Wow, I just sounded like Grandma. I am ready. I got this. Listen.
Don't you worry.
Every once in a while, I will yell at him across, and I'll hear Christopher, and I'm like, "Oh no, it's happening!
It's happening.
It's slowly
You're
happening."
in.
I got here and realized that I had 6% on my computer, so I was just preserving power.
Okay, all right.
College student gets stuck in clothes dryer after having a few drinks.
Boy, if I had a nickel.
This was in the
do what you gotta
UK.
do
She
to
had
do
to be
laundry.
rescued by the local fire brigade.
I wonder if her knickers fell off when they were trying to get her out.
I bet they did. And I guess she was drinking wine and tequila. By the way, there was your problem right there, Rosie
That is,
Cole.
man, if
Don't
I had a
ever
nickel.
mix wine and tequila. How are you 21 and you haven't figured that out yet? I remember being with my friends every night in high school, and we'd be like, okay, wine before beer, all clear. Wine before liquor, never sicker. We would do the rhyme, but you can also reverse it, and it works the other way. So it doesn't really work. But I'm just saying, think.
The only time in my life, and I can track it back to this, the only time in my life that someone has to tell me what I did the next day was when I had wine and then had specifically tequila. Specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Except for the NyQuil thing.
Tequila
No,
is
the
Benadryl.
the Benadryl thing.
Tequila is
Yeah.
awful.
It just goes, your brain goes, all right, guys, we got wine and tequila, shut it down. No.
I mean, tequila is awesome.
Yeah.
Awful.
Body, go ahead. Do what the fuck you want. Just keep going. Your brain, not a brain ain't working. Body, go.
Maybe she went to a really wet bar.
No, what? No.
Maybe she thought it was a dry bar.
No. He's really falling apart on these, I think. We thought it was the melanoma scare. Turns out you're just off.
it's just off.
But you can bring it back. You still have an
got
opportunity.
He's been dealing with an insurance company all
Oh, my
day.
God,
He's a little
so
rattled.
much.
San Francisco
So much.
Zoo is offering a reward to anyone who can return the missing lemur.
Well, first of all, there's the problem.
It
There's
was
one.
stolen.
There needs to be two. You want the lemur to stay? You bring in another lemur. A little sexy lemur, little heels. You got one lemur. There's no other lemurs. This lemur's gonna go find something.
He's 21 years old. Someone stole him.
Stole a 20. Aren't lemurs violent?
Yeah, and they're scary as crap looking.
Well, if you just turned 21.
I would not want to
Yeah,
take
so
him
he's
home
stupid
with
too.
me.
He still doesn't know anything about
They're
life.
offering $2,100, $100 for every year that he's been alive.
So he's not really that important. They're offering $2,100.
$100.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you find a lemur
A murderous lemur.
and a coupon, and you get 4 free people into the zoo twice a year.
He was taken overnight. Who would break into a zoo and take
PETA.
a lemur?
Interesting.
PETA, people that think animals he's a single lemur. Let's get that lemur some.
He is. You were right. He's
Let's get him some
one
booty.
male ring-tailed lemur.
Right. It's someone who had a
looking for some
female
tail.
ringtail. He's looking for There you go.
Come on.
Looking for some tail.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Man, I gotta
All
get some
right.
other ringtail. I was
Okay.
gonna.
Okay.
You approve.
You're warming up. You're warming
No,
up.
she's like, all right, you're in the realm of who you used to be.
Breathable bacon face mask gives wearers the aroma of bacon. This is being done by Hormel, the meat people.
God, I can't even deal with my own breath if I'm chewing gum.
You can
How
It
enjoy
already says smells like bacon.
I mean, exactly. Most people that would order that already smell like bacon. The people that want the bacon mask have enough bacon.
That's
they're
probably true.
they're expanding.
That's
Their,
probably
Their
true.
sweat smells like
It's
bacon.
actually the.
So they've done nothing except send a real mask.
It's
No, it's a bacon
called,
Right, it's
mask.
just a used mask.
Hormel said the Black Label Breathable Bacon Mask uses the latest in bacon smell technology to give the wearer the experience of smelling bacon.
BST. It's got BST. They've actually
What is? They made that up.
bacon smell
Oh,
technology.
the
BST.
latest in bacon smelling technology.
By the way, our BST researchers are the best in the world.
I think this is dumb. They're donating one meal to Feeding America for every entry to get this mask, so you can try and win your own bacon mask if you.
They're donating what?
You know what I
one
hope
meal?
it is? I hope it's like a backpack with a small grill on it. That you cook bacon,
Right.
and there's a tube. And then
Right, it's just old charcoal.
Yeah,
It's in
it
there.
just smell. You just
Yeah.
breathe bacon in. I could live with that.
I don't know. Maryland woman goes skydiving for the first time at 102 years old. Ashley sent this one in because she's still trying to bring back the old people still.
Maryland
people
woman with her
still-
skirt flying up.
Still kicking it.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Was
The
it
petticoats.
Oh.
She almost didn't pull the ripcord because of her petticoats. She's so old. She has petticoats still.
There's a Maryland,
Hi, everybody.
Like Marilyn Monroe.
No, that's actually her skin. Those aren't petticoats.
Those aren't petticoats. Those are knee flaps. And her
grandma.
expandable vagina.
Her name is Vivian Millie Bailey. She's 102 years old. She's a World War II veteran.
Wow, that's cool.
She was asked by
It's your
producers
generation.
on the American Heroes channel if she had a bucket list item that she never did her whole life, and she said she'd been thinking a long time about going skydiving. She was inspired by George H.W. Bush going skydiving when he was 90. And so she couldn't afford the $300 for the tandem jump, and so the producers picked up the tab and filmed it for her episode of Heroes.
They also handled the funeral.
They just dropped her right into a
All
heart attack on the way.
right, hit the hole, lady.
Teeth are flying and
Thump. Thump.
You guys are really wrong.
I think there's all these stories. Every couple of years, there's one of these stories where some 1,005-year-old person decides to go skydiving. And I always think about it like, were you not terrified enough in your life, or have you just accepted
Do
that
you just not give a
I'm
crap anymore?
literally hours from death?
Yeah.
So why not go for it? Because if this goes wrong, what have I really lost except
Right.
18 hours of life?
right.
Is that why? Because they just say fuck it.
I've
done
thought
it. It's
this,
fun.
like, people when we're younger, all we want is to live forever and to be young forever. That's everybody's trying to look younger and pretend they're younger and change their birthday and
According to
lie
you,
about
not
their
me.
age.
I'm not trying to look at her.
old, trying to be older.
Well, especially in Hollywood, everyone is. But then, I mean, what would be the worst curse on earth? Would be the last person left, right? Like your grandma watches. She last night told me, I've already been to 3 funerals this week alone. And it was Tuesday. 3 funerals.
Wow.
And when she was out here last time, she missed 4 in that 1 week. And so you look at, like, she's lost a brother, she's lost a sister, her parents are gone, she's lost a daughter. Like,
So
everyone.
that's when you say, fuck it, I'm going to go skydiving.
I'm going
Yeah,
sky. You
like,
know what? Yeah,
At
skydiving.
102,
If I land
just
6 feet
end
under-
it, please.
I'm going to reenact the jump scene from Smokey and the Bandit.
That's the way to go out.
I was watching Fast and Furious. I'm doing that, and that.
Actually,
No CGI for me.
Yeah, nope, yeah.
put me on Evel Knievel's motorcycle.
And send me over the
Just
Grand
be
Canyon.
flopping.
Exactly. Then that bit can be heard. One of my favorite specials that was done by my favorite comedian. Fifth annual Into the World tour, which you can get on ChristopherTitus.com.
Or you can actually go to Christopher Titus TV. I think we've always have 4 throughout COVID till this is over, guys. We're putting my specials up for free, 4 at a time. Every week we'll alternate a new one. Also, I want to talk about one more thing. Please go to combustionlive.com. Due to this COVID thing, we've decided that we want to still entertain you, and we want to bring you the best comedy we can. We've
Safely
done
for them.
safely. You guys can stay home. You can drink your own drinks. They're not $19 a piece, and you don't have to wear pants. That being said,
That being said,
on the news guys are saying it a lot too. Every time
at the end of the day,
I hear it now. I hear this all the time in interviews because everyone's on Zoom now.
you're also keeping the performer safe and enabling them to still do what they love.
Yeah, so when you guys spend your $10 to see a show at Combustion Live, we've invested in lights. We've got 3 cameras. It looks like a TV show. The homeboy's doing the sound. Highlander's killing it on the sound. We're sure it's all stapled to your balls, but called the microphones. But at least that comes out
love
well.
my job.
He balances it. You love me. I love my job. It'd be like he just cries on show day. He's like, I don't want to do this.
This is the next show.
So on Halloween
night, Saturday,
which is
October
not-
31st.
So, by the way, COVID travels. It's 1,000 times more infectious
do
than SARS.
this?
Do you really want to go get candy? Go through your kids' candy after they've been after?
So let me do this. So Combustion Live has got a awesome upcoming shows.
I
We've got Halloween night, October 31st.
Was I not doing it well?
7 p.m. You took a side trip into SARS. So let me just... Halloween night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, but it will remain available for 48 hours for those of you that can't make the live show. CombustionLive.com. Christopher Titus is hosting it. Jackie Cation.
I wrote new material.
Awesome. Yeah, he's got all new material that I've heard some of, and it's really funny. And it's funny to watch him have to perform it for the first time on TV, basically. And then also Greg Barrett, and then also
Greg Barrett, just so you guys know, Greg Barrett he wrote that book, She's Just Not Into You, and which was turned into a movie, and he was one of the writers in Sex and the City. You guys,
He's
Greg
very
Barrett
funny.
is one of the things. I'll say that about Gary Goldman. I'll say it about John Mulaney. Barrett is one of those guys that is so original in his comedy, and you got to see it. And Jackie Cation too. Jackie Cation is the most fun I've ever had on stage.
And also, there's a special appearance by the rarely seen comedian, The Invisible Man. So
he's new. He's breaking stuff in.
he's a newbie. Titus will be introducing him, and the Invisible Man is going to do a set. So you want to
5
tune in to
minutes.
see that. CombustionLive.com, only $10. Then coming up on November 14th, 7 p.m. Pacific, Christopher Titus is doing Carrying Monsters. It's got 20 minutes of brand new stuff right at the front, and he's rewritten the entire show, so it's not the same show anymore.
I'm so afraid of this.
And because we
then-
used him as our guinea pig, but now we've got it on lock, so now he can do the show the way he wants to do it. You also left out a big bit that night.
I left a huge chunk out of it.
Yeah.
It was weird that we didn't have. Now the
It was
audience is
weird.
mic'd. It
Yeah.
sounds better. We have 3 cameras. We have like professional cameras now. Everything's so
you
much
got
better.
heckled by an audience member
That
that
was a dude.
our producer
Oh, right.
invited, remember?
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
started heckling within the first 2 minutes.
But it was positive heckling. Oh yeah, he started saying stuff, but he was trying to be part of the
He
show.
liked you, yes.
Buddy, you're one of 3 people, so
but
you're not going to be able to hide. And
But also, we're shooting this for people at home. So could you stop talking through it?
Laugh, joke, laugh, laugh. That's how that goes.
And then December 5th, Ron Funches is coming back. He's
Christmas
not
show.
doing his show you saw. This is going to be kind of like a variety show like Fortune's been doing.
Yep.
It's called A Very Funches Christmas. He's bringing some guest stars to be in it.
Those are good nights.
CombustionLive.com. All of those are up and available.
Just so you
right
guys
now.
know, we do it really safe. We actually disinfect the room so the performers are safe. Everybody wears masks except for the person on stage. That's it. And then when they get off, they put it right back on. So we're doing it safe. We're doing it balls out funny. Please. You can tell the balls out because you can see the microphones hanging off them.
But you help support live comedy and comedians and producers.
And you get that,
all of this,
and you get a sense of, and I think what I love about it, and I keep getting emails from every time we do one of these shows, I get emails that say, "I so needed this." I've been, and it looks like, so what's happening across the country right now is all these hospitals are getting full now. You know,
Seeing that.
And that Trump has been blaming all the blue states. I hate this. No, it's just. It's the United States, motherfuckers, and some of our states are having some big problems right now. There's no red states and blue states. There's the United States, as Obama used
There's
to
just
say.
the people. Just care about the people.
Right. So we want you guys to not get sick. So for $10, you get to see a 2-hour comedy show. It'll be badass. You know, we're all looking for stuff to do and stuff to watch until this is over. Be safe, for God's sakes. Wear your mask.
Help us.
Gotta wait. Yeah. Help us. What? Wear your mask, or am I just talking too much?
Buy tickets. Help us.
And you said we're gonna do us in December. You didn't see After
For
Funches
myself.
on the
Bombshell
14th,
Ray.
14th or the 12th.
I don't know.
We, Rachel and I, are doing a show called Us. We have stuff. I'll be playing guitar at one point. We're doing characters. It's pretty nuts.
Super nuts because we haven't written it. So
I've written it. It's all written. I wrote it. I wrote it. Stop. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Titus podcast on Libsyn and Spotify and whatever. Thanks for watching it on YouTube. Go to Christopher Titus TV to get all kinds of videos. There's all kinds of content. And thank you so much. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
peace out.
There could be only one.
Yeah, like there could be only one. and you fade into the distance. Oh man! Don't help her. She doesn't need help. You're awesome.